Wednesday, December 14th, and we had a snow day here in Portland. So today I'm not wearing a beer shirt, but I am wearing one of my beer sweatshirts, and this one is from the Deschutes Brewing, which their main brewery is in Bend, Oregon, but they also have a pub here in Portland, which is actually really close to my work. I think today I'm going to let you know my favorite beer from them is Black Butte Porter. I know they have a lot of different ones, but I'm a huge fan of porters, and I think that's a solid beer. So it's also very common here at restaurants and pubs, so that's usually my go-to beer when they don't really have anything else I want on tap. So yes, let me tell you a little bit about my day. So today, as soon as I left the house early in the morning, it was freezing. Like, I was wearing the sweater and then like a jacket, you know, and my gloves and everything. And as soon as I stepped out, like, it was super windy, and I just like felt the cold on my face, and I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be one of those days. And sure enough, I ended up going to work, got there early, and around 1 o'clock it started to snow. And you know, I went outside, I had an errand to run, and it was snowing, but it wasn't like that big of a deal. The snow wasn't sticking yet. And then I don't even know what happened between 1 and 3. So it started to snow more. People ended up going home. I was getting ready to go home, and then I decided to text one of my friends because she takes the train with me sometimes. And I know that her station is past my work, so I figured I would check in with her and see if they were leaving early. So at first she said that they were not going to leave early and they had to be there until 5. And then she texted me afterwards and said, just kidding, because it's getting worse, they're letting us go home. So I decided just to wait a little bit for her, and offered to drive her home, even though her house is like super close to the station, just because I thought it'd be, you know, like, it'll be a nice thing to do. So I ended up waiting for her, and then we took a train, which was fine. But the train that we took didn't take us to our actual station. It left us a couple of stations before that because it had to turn around. So we ended up having to wait probably like 20 minutes at a different stop to get on another train. So the train behind us was supposed to be 10 minutes behind, and it ended up being like 20 minutes behind. Aside from that, before that, we got stopped. We got stuck earlier for a couple more minutes because there was another train in front of us. But long story short, like, we waited for the train, and then we finally got to our station, and it was pretty chilly, and I started to go home, and it seemed like, you know, the roads were fine at the beginning, but it took me over an hour to get from the station to my house, and literally that's a 10-minute drive. So it was really frustrating because in some areas the streets were fine to drive, but there was just a lot of traffic. We were going less than 10 miles per hour the whole time. And once I got closer to home, I decided to skip on the freeway because I was completely stopped, and I took back streets. But those were a lot icy, and it was kind of scary because you could tell in some cases, like, when the cars would just keep going, and I'm like, ugh, I don't like that. So it took me a while to get home. I was just kind of stressed out because it was like over 2 hours and 15 minutes of commute, when it could have literally just been like 45 minutes to 50 minutes. But it was not something I enjoyed today. But it was nice. It was nice to see the snow. I'm not very like familiar with like snow environment, just because we lived in California, and I think we saw snow like once or twice, but we were like in Yosemite. So other than that, I don't have a lot of snow experience. So it was nice to see and enjoy, but it was super cold, and then having to drive, it was just like really annoying for me, especially because you could tell people are not very used to driving under these conditions, and you see a lot of people doing like dumb things. So that was a little bit annoying, but I made it. And then Adam was amazing, and he had chili ready for me to eat for dinner. So it was perfect because it's so cold outside. I think we're at, let me check, but I'm pretty sure we're below 30 right now. Let's see. Yeah, sure enough, 27. 27, but it feels like 17, and it's supposed to be snowing. So that's our weather for right now. So yeah, that's pretty much my day. It was dealing with commute and working. So right now I'm going to finish some of my tasks that I need to do. As I mentioned before, it's gonna be a really busy couple of days for me until I go on vacation, and our parents will be visiting us, so I'm really excited about that. I'm hoping that I get to film more videos this weekend and hopefully do the actual bath bomb tutorial. I know some of my friends want it. They always ask me. I wanted to know how I make them, and they're super easy to make. So they're tricky to make, but as far as like mixing ingredients and all that, it's really easy. So I'm looking forward to having some time to shoot that, and also some of the homemade soaps, because I know those have been like a huge hit on Facebook, and every time I make them I always get comments. So maybe I'll make a coffee one, or I don't know, a different flavor, but I mean a different scent. But the coffee one is quite popular, and it's super simple to make too, so it's really cool. You could make some with just coffee grounds, or you could make it with like the actual bean, just so then you have like an extra like scrubby type of thing. So it's cool. I have also been working on my planner, so I know I have a couple of videos of planners on my channel, and I want to continue making those because I love using my planner. So I'm just setting it up in order to start filming for that. So stay tuned for more videos like that, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.